triads. They're beautiful as chords or as the basis for lines. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to build on triads through the tune Solar by Miles Davis and add elements one thing at a time to get to more and more complex lines, but using triads as the basis for our thinking. So the first thing we're going to do in this tune is we're going to look at the C minor triad in this position of the guitar. This is really what we could call the A form if you're thinking in the caged system. It looks like an A minor chord in third position. So we're going to start from this area. We're going to play the whole tune, all of the chords in this position. But let me show you this concept for triads. So the first thing is to play a root position C minor triad on the top three strings. So C, E flat, G, and then we're going to take the top note down an octave, and we're going to keep doing that, and we're going to get all of the C minor triads in this position. Take a look. So here's C minor. Now the G goes down an octave, and now we get this. G, C, E flat. Then the E flat goes down an octave, and we get this. Now I'm really in fifth position. And then this C goes down an octave, and we get this. So we have root position, second inversion, first inversion, and then root position again. Now lines could be made just from the pure triad with this tune. It would sound fine. If I were to loop the first two bars of this tune, take a listen. Now I'm just playing notes of the C minor triad and trying to make tunes. This sounds like Nature Boy, by the way, if you know that tune. Now I'm trying to resist the temptation to play other things. So I want to have these forms in mind. But the first thing I'm going to do with these triad forms, and you'll see as we go systematically through the tune how this all plays out, but I'm going to add the ninth to each one of these forms. Now this is really the main topic of this video, and it's a super powerful way to get your improvisation working on pretty much any song. So when we look at a minor triad like this, the ninth or the second is the natural ninth, so it's the note D. These are sometimes called Coltrane patterns or Tetrachords. I wrote a book on Tetrachords. You can check it out on Amazon. It's really Coltrane patterns. It's like triads with an added note. And it goes through all this stuff really systematically. But this sound has the effect of like a basically C minor triad, but it's starting to get, more melodic. Now, if I play the second inversion one, it would sound like this. So we have. I could also start on the top note and come down and back up. Now, remember this inversion for C minor, E flat, G, C, flat 3, 5, 1. Here the root would be, the second would be here. Or coming down. And then finally we have the root position C minor triad, and the ninth is in the middle here. It's the same as this one. Now, those by themselves sound not like a lot of interesting information, but if I play that, again, looping C minor, and I just play, now I have these tetrachords, these 4-note options, and I can play sort of, I can kind of Rubik's Cube them and play lines just on these. Okay, so now that's not really sounding like jazz yet because we don't really have chord changes happening and there's not chromaticism or anything. So there are other things we could add to these triads, but before we do that, what I'm going to do is take you systematically through this concept, the triad with the added ninth, on all of the chords for solar, so that you can really hear how this would, melodically work out. So, the harmonic transitions, you can hear them. The next chord in solar is G minor, and if we do the same exact exercise here, we play G minor, then we have it on the next 3 strings, then on the next 3 strings, and on the next 3. Now we have, this is really first inversion, root position, second inversion, first inversion. I'll come up. Now let's add again the natural ninth to this set of triads. So now we have this. The natural ninth is the A, so we have 9, root, 5, flat 3. Then we have 5, flat 3, 9, root. Then we have flat 3, 9, root, 5. Another way you could play that would be so you play it on the 4th string, or you play the 9th on the 3rd string. And then finally you'd have this. You'd have G, D, B flat, A. Okay? Now if I just play from C minor to G7, adding C minor to G minor 7, sorry, C minor 7, G minor 7, but I'm really thinking minor triads with the added 2nd or 9th to both of these, then that could sound like this. So that's a little fast. I'd probably practice it more slowly, but you can hear how this is starting to sound more like jazz lines. And I've got these little 4-note shapes that I'm spinning around. Okay, now we get to C7 in the 4th bar of solar. And what I'm going to encourage you to do, just for the sake of practice and for the sake of introducing some tension into your lines, in this tune, every time we have a dominant chord, I'm going to play the flat 9. So how does this work out? Well, we have C major triads, but every C major triad is going to have the flat 9 added. And then, okay, so C major, 2nd inversion, 1st inversion, root position, and now C major with the flat 9, C major, flat 9, and maybe here we play it with this fingering. Okay, so just to demonstrate now, I'm going to play the first 4 bars of solar, and what I'm going to do, so we have two bars of C minor, 1 bar of G minor, and then 1 bar of C dominant. And I'm playing natural 9s on the minor chords, flat 9 on the dominant 7th. I'll just try to play now maybe slower moving lines, and see if I can see these connection points between these triads with the second or ninth added. Now I'm starting to get, starting to play a little around these positions that I showed you, because I know that, for example, I can play 1 flat 3 flat 2, 1 flat 2 3 5. Now I'm in this position, right? So I have to discipline myself to stay around this area, really thoroughly study it before I start expanding around the neck. So I'm going to speed up a little bit now, and I'm going to go through all of the triads with these added seconds and ninths for the rest of the tune. And this will give you sort of an overview and a taste of this so that you can practice this on your own. There's going to be a PDF in the description where I'll have fretboard diagrams with all of these, sort of overlaid on the whole neck with all of the notes for each arpeggio in solar for your practice. So let's take, for a little bit, I'm going to take the bass and the piano out of the mix and just hear the drums. And then right now I'm going to work on F major in this area. So here's F major. Now we're starting to creep up the neck a little bit, but F major, first inversion. A, C, F, 3, 5, 1, root position. F, A, C, 1, 3, 5. And then second inversion. 5, root, 3. Now if I add the ninths, now the next one. Now, what's nice is if you learn the F major one, the minor one is just lowering the third, right? Because they both have the same natural ninth. So take a look. Here's F minor, F major, F minor. Looks like D minor, right? In this position. This is the D minor form of F minor, if you like to think in a caged system. Okay, so we have F minor, first inversion, root position, second inversion. Let's add the ninths. And then, and here's a line. F minor triad with the added natural 9. Now in this tune, in bar 8, we get to B flat 7, and again I'm going to encourage you to play flat 9s for now, just to get used to that. You could play natural 9s as well, even sharp 9s, but flat 9 for our purposes would look like this. So B flat major in this area, well, let's do this. We'll play this B flat major triad, second inversion, first inversion, root position. It looks exactly like the one we did for C major. So 1, 3, 5, 5, 3, 1, 3, 5, 1, 1, 3, 5, and then we add the ninth. So different ways to do that. Play the ninth below the third or the ninth above the root of all of these, right? So, you know, this fingering kind of goes with that triad, but check out this fingering. If I go like this, then I have this kind of clustered. So B flat, add the 9, B flat, add the 9, B flat, add the 9, or add it up on top, and then B flat, add the 9, or if you prefer, you can even play it here. You know, you hear Coltrane go. That's like the giant steps kind of stuff, right? Okay, now I totally screwed that up though, because what did I do? I said I was going to play flat 9 and I played natural 9. So let's do it again and play natural 9. So let's do it again and play flat 9. B flat major, but we're treating it as a dominant flat 9, so kind of becomes a diminished shape, and then major, and then major, major. Okay. Now, here's where we get the major 7, the E flat major 7 chord. And I'm going to do it like this. This is going to be the same thing that I showed you on F major. E flat major with the 9 here. And then E flat major first inversion with the 9 here. Or up on top. E flat major with the 9 here. And then E flat major with the 9 here. Now we go to E flat minor, we add the 9, so this is like what we did on F minor exactly. So let's put the 9 here, or we could put it up top. E flat minor, put the 9 in here, E flat minor, and then put the 9 in here. Okay, we're getting close. A flat 7, flat 9 this time. I won't mess this one up, I promise. A flat 9. A flat. A flat. And then A flat. D flat major. Maybe we do it here. And then we'll kind of creep into this third position. So here's D flat major, here's the 9, and then here it is again. D flat major, and then here. Of course, I could do that one up higher. So, you know, it's hard to stick to just one position because the way that the chords move, it's going to kind of get you next door. But I'm kind of focusing on the lower to middle range of the guitar in this video. I think in a future video, I'll be sure to put stuff up higher. Okay, now let's do this one. Actually, we'll do this one a little bit higher up. This is the only half diminished chord in this piece, so it's a minor 7 flat 5, and on these chords you have the option to play the flat 9, which is more of like a low-Korean sound, or low-Korean natural 2, so it would be a natural 9, and I'm going to choose the latter. I'm going to choose low-Korean natural 2. So what does that mean? It means basically we play a diminished triad, right, and then we add the natural 2 into it, which in this case is going to be E. So I'm going to play it here first. I play D, F, A flat, and I add the E. Then on this one I play half-diminished triad again, and I play flat 5 root, natural 2, 3, and then flat 3. Flat 5 root, natural 2, flat 3. And then here, this is the first inversion, D minor, D diminished triad. F, A flat, D, and here I can put the natural 9 under the flat 3 or above the root. So we have a or, and then finally D, F, A flat, and see I'm getting up the neck farther, like I said. I wouldn't, and I said I would. So D, E, F, A flat, F, E, D. The chord is. We could do them down here too, right? So one final chord, G7 flat 9. We play G major and we put an A flat in there, and I'll start that right here. So here's G major, and then we have first inversion, reposition, second inversion, first inversion, add the A flat. Actually, I'm going to come down. And then it's good to kind of, you know, when you do yoga, they will often say, they'll say like cross your legs and then cross them again so that you avoid always crossing them the same way, you know. And it's the same thing with this kind of line practice. You might have a tendency to prefer practicing the ascending forms, and so it's good to sometimes just flip it because you want your lines to have that variety. Okay. So that's a lot of information. But again, if you look at that PDF in the description, you'll see the fretboard overlays, and then you can just practice each of these zones. Once you get kind of comfortable juggling the individual harmonies, you can start to practice them in the context of the tune. All right, finally, I'm going to play some lines over the form using just the triad with the added second or ninth for all of the chords in the same way described. As I play through the form a few times, I'll start to add other notes like the 6th and the 4th and the 7th. Eventually, I'll start just playing the parent scale, but keeping the triad as sort of the framework for my thinking so that I have strong landing points and sort of targeted tones. So let's take a listen. Here we go. Okay, so I hope you can hear how useful this sort of concept is and how it'll start to give you thousands and thousands of options for navigating changes of really any kind. So thanks again for checking this out, and please purchase the PDF in the description if you want to practice this stuff along with me, and please subscribe. Thanks for checking out the channel. See you next time.